Hi everyone, my name is Sheldon Descent, and today I'll be explaining Napoleonic Tactics. One thing to know about Napoleonic Tactics is that these tactics were not invented by Napoleon. He just used these tactics the best. So let's just set up a scenario here. We have, let's call this distance here 500 yards. So now let's place this here. Another thing to note is that both of these, the red and the blue, are battalions. The blue is representing the Union, and the red is representing the Confederate. The reason why the red is representing the Confederate instead of the tan or butterscotch color that they usually would wear is because I ran out of that color. Without further ado, let me get into this. Battalion usually consists of 8 to 10 companies. Now, a company is equivalent to about 100 men, and in that 100 men, there are 2 platoons, which is equivalent to 8 sections, which is equivalent to 8 squads. In there, you'd have the 1 captain, 1 first lieutenant, 1 second lieutenant, 1 first sergeant, 4 sergeants, and 8 corporals. And you'd also have 2 musicians who would be the drum boys. So, right here, you can see we have about 1,000 men here. I mean, obviously I didn't cut out 1,000 sheets of paper. But, so let me just explain some of the tactics Napoleon would use, or that were used during the Civil War era. So at 500 yards, the weapons weren't as accurate, or the weapons just didn't work as well as they would if they were at a closer distance. So at 500 yards, you could still hit your target, but it wouldn't be as effective at 200 yards. And at 200 yards is when the bullets would really start to fly. Now the thing that the reason why there are lines here is instead of just being scattered out, you're in lines and you look really formal. And at this time, war is more of an art rather than trying to just really end up killing your enemy and winning the battle. It was truly sort of a form of art. So as this line died, another line would move up, and that's the way they fought. Now, what Napoleon did was he actually made the lines and the battalions move a lot quicker. So he figured the quicker they're moving, they'll have the advantage. They're moving quickly towards the enemy, and they'll meet them before they know it, and it'll be a surprise. Another tactic Napoleon used was he would take. Let's take these guys out. These guys are not dead. He would send a few companies up and have them fight this large line, this entire battalion. And what this blue battalion would be thinking, they'd be thinking, well, you know, we can easily fight off these guys, while they had their main army in the back coming in and flanking them, and that's how they would do it. And they would trap them until they came to a meeting. So let me just move this to 100 yards. So now at 100 yards, your bullets would pretty much be effective. You'd be hitting your target every time if you were a skilled marksman. Another tactic used at this range, if you notice there was a weaker army, just weak in terms of skill, a tactic a lot of armies would do is they'd split up. They'd split up like this. That way all their troops didn't get killed at once. They'd just have this row, and then they'd have to come and face the second row. What Napoleon would do is he would divide his troops, and so one group would come on this side, one group would come on this side, and they'd start coming into this area here. So they'd fill this gap, just like so, and it would prevent these blue guys from, coming back together and grouping up. So that just about wraps up the video on Napoleonic Tactics. Thank you for watching.